I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hi, guys.
Hey, y'all.
I'm your host, Hollywood Lee, and tonight we have a Kenya stand for you guys. Ronnie Jr., how you doing, boo? Welcome to the show.
Good. I love that woman. I will probably say some favorable stuff about her. She is the queen. She's always been the queen. I'm an 80s baby, therefore I grew up in the 90s. And if you grew up in the 90s and you're pushing 40, there's a Kenya Moore royalty that will always be. But we'll talk. We'll talk about it for sure. We'll talk about it.
I'm telling you, we're coming strong out of the gates for you guys. You know, y'all were getting bad and boldy in the comments, so we had to bring it up a notch. We had to step it up. Honestly, guys, I've said it a million times. We always give credit when it's due. And Kenya Moore had a fantastic season, and we're going to talk about it today. We're kind of mad that Nene's not here, but you know who is here? My family. Let's start with my girl, OK Juj. Hey, boo boo.
I'm ready to hear what Ronnie has to say about Kenny.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do all that. That's
No, it was an interesting episode. She's actually she's not my main target tonight, so I'm excited.
And as always, that beautiful face coming from Atlanta, Danny B.
Hey, y'all. I'm also excited to see what you got to say about Miss Kenya, since everybody thinks we're so anti-Kenya around here.
Yes. Well, you know what we do? We speak in truth tonight.
Truth.
And we're doing it with the party people, Miss Erica Edwards. Hey, boo-boo.
What's up, party people? Hey.
It's going to be a good show, you guys. We got a lot of balance for you guys, a lot of opinions, some strong personalities. You know, we're giving you Real Housewives of Atlanta in the Zoom style right now with all these little boxes. I love it. Welcome to the show, Ronnie. You know, Andy did the show in his boxers. We got to see Ben tonight, who's super cute. It was an all right episode. I liked the first 15 minutes of the episode. Hated everything else until the very last 5 minutes of the episode. I was even kind of like zoning out at one point. Like my dog came over to play with me. I'm just like, oh, I have to watch this. And then I'm just thinking, what is happening? You know, I just got really disinterested. There was a lot of things that didn't make sense. We're going to break it down now. We open with the proposal of Cynthia. This montage of Kenya basically throwing her under the bus. This is Bravo doing it, not me. But no matter what, we know that Cynthia did invite the cookie lady first. Is she attracted to toxic people? It's a lot. I wish Nene was around. Let's get into this. Drew.
Do I think Cynthia treats how Nene and Kenya differently? Yes. Do I think Cynthia should be held responsible for her shady behavior? Yes. I think we forget that Cynthia's a grown-ass woman and needs to be like, she's not, just because she's around these toxic people doesn't mean she has to do what their bidding. She kind of like, she puts herself in these situations, does bad things, and then kind of rides on the coattail of, oh, well, it's because of Kenya, or, oh, it's because of Nene. No, it's because of Cynthia. And I thought it was weird.
Danny?
I agree. Cynthia does a lot of shady stuff, and then she runs away from it. And everybody, like, we all think of, well, most people think of Cynthia as being like the nice person, meek and mild, but she really is messy. And she just runs away from her mess. It's giving me Eva vibes. For sure.
Yes, Erica Edwards. What did you think about this opening with Cynthia and Kenya? What do you think about their relationship?
Well, I mean, I think to some extent, Cynthia is attracted to toxic friends. I think, or not saying she's attracted to toxic friends. I think she's that person who takes a lot. And then once she gets to her line, eventually, which is way past everybody else's line, then she's kind of done. So she took a lot from Nene for years, and I feel like she's going to take a lot from Kenya for years until she can get to that place where, you know, she can see it for herself, I guess.
Yeah. And then coming in with the new flavor, Ronnie, what do you think about the opening right here with like Cynthia and Kenya? And you can give us like the, your take on their relationship. Do you think it's real?
Do I think it's real? Yes, I do think it's real. I think with Cynthia, it's interesting. There's a thought process that she needs to be combative back or something of that nature, and she needs to make sure Kenya doesn't cross any lines. I just I don't think she has to justify that to anybody. Like if she's good with Kenya, I don't think there's a problem there. Like you on it as an outsider don't need to tell me how to act with my friends. So that's kind of my problem with everybody else. It just is like you're trying to pull Cynthia and Kenya apart just so you could get in there with your issue with Cynthia. If you have an issue with her, whichever one of these ladies it is, that needs to be your issue. Don't try to break up their relationship. That seems really corny to me. Like I don't like that type of behavior. I could understand what a lot of you are saying though, as far as like it's challenging to see Cynthia go through this over and over. But I think she's a big girl. I think she's fine. I feel like she's above it. She's unbothered. There was a time in life that we love unbothered people. So she's doing that. She's got her flowers and she got the coin and she's got the man. Why does she got to justify to anybody? Give her the spinoff. I'm down. Let's go.
Oh, he's coming in hot. All right, all right, all right.
But how many times are you
going
gonna let your friend try you in front of everybody? You know what I mean?
Why does it matter to you if you're not the friend? That's what
Because,
I don't understand that process of thought. I care about who I care about. I care about who I don't like. I care about who I dismiss. I do not care about a relationship where I'm trying to cut in. If it affects me, yes. My question to you, the young lady in Atlanta, how does it affect you? You know what I'm saying?
Danny.
Like that would, yeah.
Well,
Danny.
if you're also friends with Cynthia, like if I see my other friend trying my friend, I'm gonna be like, girl, why you keep letting her try you like that? Like, say something, you know? Even if it don't have to do with me, it's like, girl, she's making you look stupid. She's trying you on so many levels, so many times, and you keep excusing it.
Well, I think okay, so ignorance is bliss. So she may have that. And I'm actually on the opposite end where I'm just recently getting over this, where I get hopped up over everything. And lately I kind of been adopting the Cynthia mentality. I'm like, say what you want, you're not paying my bills. So I guess that's where I'm coming from in the perspective. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. You guys are definitely making some valid points. And actually you're swaying me a little bit over there. So it's all good,
Well,
but I like Cynthia.
Let's move on. Yovanna is in the wings. And, Eva said it just happened to be right around the time that she posted this picture. I didn't see Nene on her phone, but then again, we're not seeing like everything in real time. I don't think it was that deep, but I think it worked out perfectly in the cinematic dramatics of reality television. That Nene wasn't there. This lady was here to talk all about it, flip the script. I mean, none of it made sense to me. Even Andy was like, I don't know. It was weird. It was weird. And then he said that okay, and here's the thing that I had a problem with Nene. Before Yovanna came out, Andy was like trying to hold and did hold Kenya accountable. Nene did actually come in and try it. Label it what you want, an apology to her, whatever, say what you want. I'm not here for I don't know. Like, I know that Nene has had her moments, you know what I mean? We hold her accountable. When she put her hands on the cast members, we ripped her to shreds, okay? But if she's coming back and trying to have a second chance, call it an apology tour. That's what it is. She really came back and tried to apologize, and everyone was receptive except for Kenya. And then when it came down to it, she just lied about it. She was like, "Oh no, it wasn't real." And Andy was like, "Yeah, but she tried a couple times." And she even said that you should be on the show. Like that was my problem with it. Drew, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, I completely understand. And this is my problem with it because people love to say we hate Kenya. And I don't. I actually very much like Kenya. What I don't like is that it's constantly a lose-lose situation with Kenya. And I think she does it intentionally so that she constantly comes out looking like the victim. When Nene didn't say anything about this high-risk pregnancy, Nene was considered problematic. But then when we see that Nene actually has tried since then to, bury the hatchet, then it's, no, you're not sincere. It's an apology tour. So which one is it? Is she supposed to be quiet and then she's fake? Or does she try to apologize, but then she's still fake? Like in my opinion, there's just not a way for Nene and Kenya to win. Like, I don't think there's a way for Nene to win in that situation. And I understand where Kenya is coming from in the sense of we've never gotten along, so I don't think anything you say is valid. I get that. But where do we find this happy medium? Because if she's silent, you have a problem. If she
I don't think there is one.
There isn't, and but it needs to be admitted.
There's a division here. I want Erica, your take on it, because there's a division. It's just like Beverly Hills. It's Kyle or Lisa Vanderpump. Now it's like Nene or Kenya. To me, it's reality television. I'm gonna go with the one that makes me laugh. Nene makes me laugh, even though she's shady and all that things you want to say about it. Kenya, when she does her shade, it makes me cringe because she does it to her own friends. There's a division here, right? Do we have to choose Nene or Kenya?
I think you do, or at least I think tonight or this whole reunion, it has been two different teams all the way down the middle, which, you know, after a while just kind of got to be irritating for one. And I think that even if, to me, Kenya didn't even hear her out. So it's like, you can't say it's fake or not if you didn't actually hear it, period. So it's like, even if it's an apology to her, okay, I mean, she deserves the respect to be heard. And then you can be like, no, I think you're fake, or no, I don't, whatever. But if you play the person crazy and then say, oh yeah, it was fake because now that I dish you in front of millions, now that you have something to say back to me, now that's justification for me not to have listened to you in the beginning. Like, I think she should have heard her out and made a decision then.
But I will say it's very annoying that Nene walked out. Had that been any other cast member, I don't see them coming back. And so that really annoyed me because I was like, you made yourself look bad. Even with the Yovanna situation,
We're all mad about it. We're all mad about it.
Like, you just looked really bad, and I wish you were there to talk through this, because now you're kind of like you're aiding to this case that I think was a 50-50 fault. You're now making it look like more your fault.
And it's like Jesus Amaro said about Envy: if he walks out the room, is he even necessary? I am dramatically, and I've been saying for years, and I'm usually on the unpopular opinion, and this is literally 10 years of conversation. I've thought Greg's wife and Kyle, respective franchises, are the two most overrated, unnecessary cast members by far. Kyle, I'll call her by name. Greg's wife, it will be Greg's wife. That is what it she'll be.
Not Greg.
Question to Liam, so I can understand how I'm going to rebuttal this situation. You said that Nene and Andy were talking about she did something for Kenya. What did Nene do for Kenya? I didn't understand that.
No, like what Andy was trying to say is not only did she come back and try to make up with you or try to have a conversation with you, he's like, looking back at it, she's always even actually rooted for you to stay on the show or be on the show because you're great TV. Like, she's never played that card of there's only one HBIC. I don't want you on here. She's always said, oh, keep her on the show. Bring her on the show. Put her on the show. She's great TV. You know what I mean?
So wait. Kenya,
there's a difference. Nene's not a hater. Kenya is a hater.
Absolutely not. So Kenya is supposed to be thankful for that. We're talking about the pageant. She's wearing the Detroit sash. She beats Atlanta at that in 1993. This is Kenya Moore we're talking about. I don't understand how Greg's wife could give any validation. Like, you got to understand, Kenya Moore is Kenya Moore regardless of this television show. When she left the first time, I tweeted that and it was still negotiations, I said whether or not Kenya Moore is on this show is irrelevant. She's always going to be a star in any atmosphere. If you have her playing with the swill of Greg's wife, I don't really need to know, A, that you want me on the show. I don't care. You're irrelevant to me. And B, you are trying.
But it's tit for tat at this point.
I'm just gonna give my opinion.
Point count.
Just my opinion. I don't think you if I'm not rocking with you, I don't think whether you try once, twice, 3 times, I'm good. I've dismissed you. Be you. I don't even worry about you or care about you. So that to me is a little interesting.
But
I agree with you.
Okay, I have a question then. Because the point that Kenya made at first was that Nene didn't say anything and she had an issue with her not reaching out, which I respect. Because if you're going through that and everyone else is reaching out and you reached out to me and I reached out to you during the Greg situation, I would hope that you would reach out to me during my pregnancy. Respect it, hear it.
Right.
When Nene then decides to try to make amends, then she's being fake. I'm trying to understand where Kenya wants her to reside. I respect it either way because I think she has a valid reason to feel the way she feels towards Nene, but I also think Nene has a valid reason to feel the way that she does towards Kenya. And no disrespect to Kenya, but this whole like she's a star, she's a star, she's a star. Nah, I'm born in 92, so forgive me for not knowing about Miss Kenya Moore like that, but what has she done in that season off? Because I can tell you what Nene's done. I can tell you about Glee. I can tell you about The New Normal. I can tell you about her stand-up comedy tour. I can tell you about a lot of things. And no disrespect to Kenya, but I'm just like, it's not like Kenya Moore, like Real Housewives of Atlanta needs Kenya Moore.
Let's Danny, I want to hear your take on this, and then Erica.
Yeah, I don't see them ever being friends again. And I think Kenya should just say, like, because I'm one of those people, sometimes if I don't like you, then I just won't like you forever. You know, like no matter what you say, even if you're like, yeah, well, she should be on the show. It's like, I don't need you to say that I need to be on the show. I don't like you, you know? So I agree with Ronnie on that. But just say that. Just say y'all don't like each other and you'll never agree with anything that she says, period.
Exactly.
Drew, you made some good points, though. That's hard to tell. There is a part of me that even though I defend Kenya a lot, there is that petty thing that she does. I would assume that maybe it's more along the lines of if I don't clock your sincerity, it's going to be an issue with me. So I think there is a doubling up of words. I will give you that maybe Kenya is a little bit petty on that regard. Now, I just don't like to play the game of who's the hottest person. Like, here's an example. Like, I have this on my bedside, the Naomi picture in Versace. I don't know if you can see it well. It would be like saying who's hotter, Naomi or like somebody fresh off the scene, even though she's making things happen, like a Gigi Hadid. Like, I'm a little bit more like, I'm going to give the legacy a situation. I'm going to give that the kudos and the clap. I don't know, it's just different opinions. And beyond that, Greg's wife is boring to me. She's never made me laugh once. In all the seasons, she ruined the season one. Sheree Whitfield was my favorite. I like, anyways.
Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me, boo?
Right.
I'm just trying to give you my perspective that the show didn't really come alive. I mean, till season 5, but I don't want to just.
I want your take on this. And let me know if you think Nene's a good actress. Because she was in Glee, and that was the best she ever did. Because when she was in
I didn't think she was good on those things. I just thought she was fucking busy.
Because when she was on The New Normal, that shit was bad.
It was real bad. Plus her heart.
Go ahead, Erica.
Okay, one, I think that when it comes to acting, the few little bootleg things I've seen of Kenya, I feel like she and Nene are toe-to-toe as far as their acting coaches go and their acting skills go. And Ronnie, I get it. You know, Kenya Moore was the shit. The same way Kim Fields was the shit. That doesn't mean they're the shit on Real Housewives of Atlanta. So when she was like, oh, okay, I think she should be a part of the show, that's because Nene was one of the original cast members. You know what I'm saying? So she was kind of one of the founding peoples of this branch of Housewives. So it's not like, oh, okay, Kenya should be appreciative. All Andy was saying is she tried to make up with you and she's never hated on you. As a matter of fact, she's hated on Cynthia. She said Cynthia shouldn't come back, but she never said that about Kenya. So I think it's just a matter of, not that Kenya should be grateful, but it's like, okay, this person is doing more to kind of try to meet you halfway than you are for sure.
It doesn't feel that way to me, but that's just a perspective. Doesn't feel like she's trying. It feels calculated.
The root of my problem with Kenya is simply that, because I don't dislike her. And in a couple months I am more familiar with Kenya Moore than I can let on right now. But I don't dislike her. I don't. And in a couple months, people will laugh. I don't dislike her. My problem with this show in particular, because we have to remember that what we see on the show is not real life. That's not really how stuff is popping. We all know we work in this industry. We know how reality TV works. That's not real. To the viewers at home who send us crazy things, this is not real. Go get a drink, come back and laugh it off. It's not real.
All right.
My problem with Kenya on the show is that she says one thing and then in the same breath says the exact opposite. And so there's no way to win with her. And that's my only issue with her.
I want to move on just because we have Spitgate, Recording Gate, and like all these things to talk about. You know, the Spit game does come up and Candy jumps in just because she is just really not on the Nene train, and she's kind of over it, you know. And Nene was trying to explain, like, look, I really wasn't trying to go there with Candy, but it seems like Candy wants to go there with me. And you know, Candy was doing a good job. She was reading her pretty good. But she jumps in and says, like, it would have been on if she would have done it to me, you know, and Kenya's like, where's the outrage and stuff? You know, and it comes up like, is Kenya the provoker? Like, I don't even think we need to have this conversation. I think she
Right.
definitely is a provoker. Um, I know there's going to be some opinions on that, but honestly, it all correlates with what we're going to talk about at the end. So let's just try to smooth over and go to the recording gate, because this is the thing that really just pissed me off. It was a huge waste of the episode. Yeah, we got to have some sort of conclusion on it. Yovanna comes in, that bitch, and she really did came in with the info. She really did come in with the info. The first couple minutes, I was here for it. She said, I got a letter from Nene for a cease and desist. Like, Michael Sterling is my lawyer, aka I'm not paying.
Right.
It all makes sense. You know, Eva's like, yeah, he worked. You know, shut up, Eva. We all work, okay? So does the whole country. But Giovanna said that she was sent by Nene to record conversations, and she thought she was gonna be all smooth, and Candy jumped in that ass and made her look so stupid. And I was all here for it. Erica, what did you think about this?
Well, a couple of things. One, I saw on YouTube where Nene called into a blog or whatever and was trying to kind of explain that, one, she left like well before Yovanna was even coming. So, you know, just to kind of clarify that part. And I just thought that the Candy, for once, just because it didn't make sense. And, you know, as I mentioned last week, Yovanna is like here, thirsty. She won the Thirsty Award. She's still looking thirsty. Basically, my understanding from what Nene said was that Yovanna did do the taping, but that her husband told her not to show it because it made her look bad. And so now all of a sudden she's saying that Nene told her to do it. So I don't honestly believe her because it doesn't really make sense. You know what I'm saying? And Candy made a good point. Like, okay, so you got to know us first, and then you sew up Nene's behind. She tells you to tape us, and you like, okay, and then pretend like you did it. Like, it was just sort of an insane kind of story where she looked crazy any way she went.
Exactly. I'm like, no matter what, girl, you're ridiculous.
Right.
And we're not gonna like you. Danny, what did you think about this? This whole thing, because Nene wasn't even here to say anything about it. It was so annoying.
Exactly.
Were you dying? I was pissed.
I was so mad. I honestly felt like the conversation wasn't even worth having if Nene was not going to be there. It's like we just hear this one-sided story and it doesn't even make sense, first of all. She's just hopping and skipping and jumping over everything. She's not really fully answering the questions. But like, it was pointless to have without Nene. Because Nene was but my thing is, every time it came time for Nene to say something about the situation, she was always quiet. That would piss me off. Like when they all met at Candy's house, and Nene was just like, well, I'm just gonna say I'm not lying. Say what it is, you know?
Well, go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good.
I was gonna respond to that. Because what Nene said was, at the time when they went to Candy's house, she had made up with Portia, she had made up with anybody, and none of those girls were ever with her. And really, Yovanna was the only one that was like her ride or die. So after Yovanna was like, you know, I didn't do tape or whatever, Nene said, you know, I heard on YouTube or whatever saying that that was the only person who seemed like she was loyal to her, so she wasn't going to throw her under the bus. That was the excuse that she gave.
Well, that didn't do shit for her at all.
I just think I'm just like, I'm so truly annoyed with Nene because you should have, I'm sorry, like walking out is weak bitch move. It's big weak bitch energy. And it's like, that's not, I don't like that Nene like just walks away all the time. Like that's like her go-to move. And that's super annoying because like you lose credibility in the situation. But I was really glad Candy called Yovanna out because the entire story didn't make sense. And anytime someone would start to back her in a corner, she would be like, well, wait till you hear what she said about you. And they would be like, okay, well, tell me. And then she wouldn't have anything to say. And it's like, okay, well, you just look like Boo Boo the Fool.
So annoying. Ronnie, what did you think about Tanya saying like, you cried wolf, like we don't know what to believe? That was exactly what I was thinking in the moment she said that. And what do you think about Cynthia saying, yeah, I have talked shit. We weren't friends. Next, what else is going on? Which was kind of funny because it's her tagline. I'm Cynthia Bailey. So what else is going on?
Yeah, with Yovanna, I mean, all the cards were on the table. She could, of course, try to speak and argue her way out of it or whatever, but it just didn't look good for her. You know, and I know the commentary of Thirsty was on the table. Yeah, she was just in one of those situations, I think, where the reality producers sort of dangle some stuff at you. So it's a combination of what Greg's wife is dangling at you and the producers, and you're doing the best that you can. And, you know, Yovanna's sort of, I like the girl, she's fine, but she's sort of like, you know, trying so hard to keep her place in this thing and trying to impress everybody. So things are gonna get shaky. I mean, she did the TLC reality show. I know currently she does, well, not currently, but she was doing door-to-door sales. So obviously her economics in Atlanta aren't that great. That is, I have seen that on video, a friend of mine. So, and that's not the hustle. That is amazing. I mean, God, let's sell detox tea, whatever. I'm with it. But we just know where Yovanna's at, so I don't blame her necessarily. But I'm kind of over the scene. It didn't rub me the wrong way or the right way. Yeah.
Even Andy was like, "How do you know we're telling? Like, how do you know? Like, how do we know you're telling the truth, girl? Like, how do we know?" I don't know. It was just, you know, she said she insinuated but didn't, and did it out of frustration. And even Marlo was like, "What is this? This just doesn't make any sense." You know,
exactly. And it was interesting that she didn't say that Nene was the one who put her up to do it until now that she's fallen out with Nene. The same way, you know what I'm saying? She did this because she was irritated with Cynthia. I mean, it just seems like she just wants the airtime, honestly, and that's how it comes off.
Would you guys want to see her back on another season, or does this cancel her out of the series?
Not really.
What is she gonna bring? Like, I don't see her bringing.
I personally wouldn't mind seeing Marlo sort of getting her together. It's very interesting. A lot of people don't know this because they know I write so hard for Kenya, but Marlo's literally one of my favorite cast members. Like, and they'll never get along. And so maybe next season we do something along the lines of Marlo sort of getting what's the gal's name? Yovanna, getting Yovanna together, possibly.
I'm here for Marlo getting a peach.
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree.
Same.
I don't really care about Yovanna if she comes on either way. I'm kind of indifferent. But
yeah, because we haven't seen enough of her other than her desperately trying to be everybody's friend and hopefully get in. So it just looks, honestly, it looks a little sad. But if she has something interesting, you know, yeah, for sure.
I want to talk about how Portia's cell phone rang. And it was Nene, and it was literally the stupidest thing in the world. I'm like, really? You're calling and you want to communicate? Walk back in the room.
Right.
Like, it made no sense, and I was so disappointed in Nene. Pissed me off. I'm like, you cannot be the queen if you're gonna pull this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
It's gonna go to Kenya if you're not here. It's gonna go to Kenya.
You can't cower when things are getting like too much. Like, you can't be the queen of Bravo and then run away.
And it also, I think all the fans, maybe, and even this group here, I think we're a little tired of it. Like, if you like your respective person, you're kind of like, let them just not really, you know, handle each other. Like, let them both be. I mean, these are women. Like, in society, we don't lift up women enough. So I feel like, while I don't like the one, and I wholeheartedly love Kenya, let them both rock. I think that would be a much funner show to watch. Like, this was a little challenging of a season, you guys. I really got anxious, and I was kind of over it. And I let them both shine, respectively. Like, it's fine.
I actually completely agree with that statement. Like, completely. I think we all really had high expectations for this season, and it was kind of lackluster. Like, we like to see full circle moments. We had no resolutions with a lot of things. Like, we had Cynthia basically saying, well, I'm just going to take the high road, or we're just not going to get anywhere. It's like, you're at that point with Nene. You're outside crying in the street. You might as well just say that. Just say, why do I always have to be the bigger person? You know what I mean? I just feel like there's just a lot of things that we really could have, would have, should have. You know, a lot of it had to do with Cynthia. She wasn't my favorite this season. You know, I really wish she would have came on to It's Bravo Bitch to like clear a lot of things up, because I had a lot of stuff for her. You know what I mean? I really didn't like how she just did not hold Kenya accountable for anything. I'm totally here with Danny with the whole like, are you seriously gonna let her talk to you like that? Like, it was just crazy. That whole wine scene, that was a complete, like, total bad mouthing of my business.
But you
Any
know,
last thoughts, Drew?
I will say two things. I will say Candy did bring up a great point about the Nene spitting and all of that, in which if it was anybody else, we all would have lost our GD minds.
That part.
But
we
really, let's go down the line. Let's go down each cast.
Okay, not Ava, but like if that was Candy, if that was Cynthia, if that was,
I don't think Cynthia would have done anything.
No, but I'm saying us as an audience. I think.
Oh, got it. Like we would have just
Yeah.
crucified her.
Yeah, I think because I know even I was like that was foul, but also in the back of my mind I was like, whoa, you know, like because Kenya and like Candy did make a great point. If it was anybody else, that wouldn't be the same reaction. And then if any Bravo producer watches this, can y'all please, for the love of all things that are good, either mute Eva or give her an actual storyline, because just like her being in the peanut gallery this entire reunion and having nothing of substance to say honestly made it really hard to watch, because she was just very obnoxious the entire time. I just kept thinking about Portia saying her boobs were social distancing.
And she was bowdy because it was on Zoom.
Exactly, because if they were there, she would have been acting real spooky. So
you guys think it was solely that? I thought it was also, it was a lackluster season, and I like Eva. And it was just, to get some type of rise to let everyone know, if I come back, I'm going to come with these reads like she did on the radio program.
Eva never says it to people's face. Anytime Eva's ever addressed any situation ever, I didn't say that. Oh, girl, she's crazy. I never said. And then the second it's her, or the second she doesn't have to worry about someone grabbing her by her little finger waves, she be going off. And I get it, like, Danny and I are from the South. Down there, it's talk shit, get hit. I understand.
Period.
But if you're gonna talk shit, you gotta get ready to get hit, girl.
Erica, any last kind of thoughts before we move on to the best part of the last 5 minutes when they all had a big year?
Well, I just agree with you. I feel like this reunion started off great, but it ended with kind of nothing really being resolved. Like there was never that kind of moment where we all kind of come together and see what we've learned. It was kind of like, okay, I hate you, and you ugly. I mean, I think it just got really kind of crass, and they didn't really deal with some of the sort of real issues that they could have.
Danny, I want to hear your thoughts on this before, we kind of really get down to the nitty gritty and end this thing. I just want to say I did see Kenya on a blog talking about how actually on Candy's channel, Candy and Kenya were on a little channel together, Candy's channel, and Kenya was saying that the whole thing with the reality spinoffs, that Nene really is upset about this, and it really does have to do with Candy, because at one point she allegedly almost tried to sue Bravo and the production company, because out of she was saying that the fact that these other people were getting all these spin-off shows, it was hurting her business in some sort of way. I'm paraphrasing, but that was basically the connotation, which was very interesting. Like, we're on the 3rd episode. It's the final thing. It's over after this. Kenya's still going hard. And Candy is riding high right around that big old wave. They're like both on the channel together going at it. Danny, what do you think about this? It's over, but they're still going.
Yeah, I also saw that, but I don't think that it has anything to do with Candy, like Nene saying that, because I've always said Nene needs her own spinoff. Everybody, I feel like Bravo gives the spinoffs to boring people, period. Like Kim Zolciak's show, like, is boring to me. I'm sorry, it's boring. And like Candy is not someone that's like high energy that you just like want to watch Candy's life like that. Like when we go to the Candy Factory, I'm like, okay, let me fast forward because I'm bored. You know?
I like the Candy Factory show. That was a good show.
But I do get that she's in enough bags that like there's enough sub characters and everything that there could be. Like I'm excited if OLG comes off kind of like Vanderpump Rules. I would go into that. I would go into that stuff. But like I think Candy's in enough bags that she can give you variety, and then you still go on Real Housewives of Atlanta and have something completely different. I think with Nene, at least at this point, because she's really taken a step back because of Greg.
It's just Nene.
There's just not enough stuff, you know? There's not
I totally agree.
That's a good point because Candy offers aspirational success, you know, and yeah. I mean,
and she has a billion people.
Well,
like
yeah,
she has a whole community.
That's a great point. Yeah.
That Candy is kind of like a little like monotone, so it's not that it's the most interesting content, but there is enough content for it to be like utilized into multiple streams of income.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, MVP for the season, Ronnie.
The most valuable player will be Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore hair care all day. I'm into it. Most congeniality will be Candy. Yeah. I know you didn't ask that, but that's what I would get Candy.
I like it. Thank you for the addition. I like it. It's true.
I am going to agree with Ronnie. I think MVP of the season is Kenya because she gave us, she brought the drama. You know what I'm saying? Like she gave it to us. And then if we're gonna do Miss Congeniality, Portia had me laughing the entire season. Portia continues to get funnier and funnier. So, and I love that she's not hitting people anymore. So it's just growth.
Yeah.
Annie.
I feel like Portia, yeah, she had all the comebacks this year. All of her green screens were funny. So I would say Portia grew a lot this year. She did have Dennis making her look a little funny, but I feel like she grew from it. But I don't know who else, to be honest. Everybody was acting up this season. MVP, I guess we'll say Portia. Maybe she has some growth, I guess.
Okay, Erica, your MVP in Miss Congeniality.
Okay, so my MVP would be Portia because I think she brought storyline, conflict. She kind of put at least some of her life out there. She seemed to kind of be real with it, you know, and she showed some growth and she seemed to kind of be cool with people and give people a chance, whatever. I think Portia overall brought the good and the bad and the ugly and kind of made it work. I think for Miss Congeniality, it would have to be Tanya, because I feel like
I love Tanya this season. I was a huge Tanya fan.
Yeah, I feel like even after the way, you know, after all that stuff with Kenya, I think she just is happy, you know, grateful to be on the show. So she's not going to let anything make her too mad. And she kind of was, you know, I think she worked really hard at being nice to everyone.
All right. Well, it comes back to me, and you guys are going to be very surprised by this because I know that it seems that I'm just like riding high for Nene and stuff. And you know what? The thing is, she made me laugh. And you got to make me laugh. I'm very easy to please. You just got to make me laugh. That's it. That's it. There's not much. You know what I mean? But she's not my most valuable player, surprisingly. I'm going to actually vote for Kenya for MVP. I really feel like if we took her out of the equation for this season, there really would have been nothing. Like, let's think about the marching band. Let's think about the spitting gate. Like, all of that had to do with Kenya. So I'm going to vote for MVP Kenya. I better get some credit for that in the comments. That's all I'm saying.
I love it.
They're not going to give me nothing.
No, they won't.
But what you can do is watch It's Bravo Bitch this Wednesday, 2 p.m. Because I am going to be having a continuation of Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know, they're going on fire right now. They're still going at it. It's fresh off the press. The reunion just aired tonight, the finale. We want to thank you for supporting us. So go to It's Bravo Bitch Wednesdays. I'm going to have Pet Shop Boy, and we're going to be talking about this again because you know they're going to be acting up for the next couple days. You know, Andy wrapped up with a nice happy ending. Everyone had a great year. You know, Eva had a baby. You know, Candy had a baby. You know, Portia is eating hot dogs again. You know, all that jazz. But no matter what, we wish them the best. It's a television show at the end of the day, and it's not that deep. We love all of them, and we love you guys for supporting us, watching us, even if we get on your nerves. It's all love from us. Thank you so much for watching us. I'm Hollywood Lee, and it's my favorite day of the week. You can join me on all the socials. Please join me on my new show. It's going to be fabulous. Drew, I love you, and it's been such a great season. How long we been doing this?
For a long ass time.
Where can we find you, baby? What do you want to promote?
I am starting the American Soul after show for AfterBuzz TV starting Thursday. I had to look off camera. Starting Thursday, it's a BET show about Soul Train. If you haven't gotten into it, we're going into season 2. It's a good show, very historically accurate. And then if you want to follow me on all the things, whether that's to like my thirst traps or set up a time for us to fight about Kenya, you can follow me at
Yes. She's bringing it to you hot. I had a whole White Club, just FYI. It was a nice, solid show for me. Danny V, you were fabulous. The new kid on the block, you did so great. I love your perspective, that soft, beautiful face. Baby, where can we find you? What do you promote? What you got coming up next?
You guys can find me on Instagram at @TheDannyB, and I'm waiting for Potomac to come back so I can give y'all all the Potomac tea, honey. So yeah, y'all can find me on Potomac whenever they decide to bring it back.
And as always, my favorite lawyer, if you need a lawyer ever, Erica Edwards, my favorite slogan of all time, the party people.
All right, well, you can catch me on Monday nights, but not tomorrow, I don't think, for the worst chefs in America. You can catch me on Killing Eve when we come back for that. And hopefully you'll catch me as well on the Real Housewives of Potomac once they ever come back. And you can follow me on all of my social media at Erica, ERIKA, as in door, Edwards.
Ronnie, I know you're a huge Potomac fan.
Yes.
Where can we find you? What do you want to promote?
Well, going off that, we interviewed Giselle Bryant a couple years ago. She was fantastic. She's a very Ronnie-like personality. We both like Kenya, which is amazing. And she's a Virgo, so there you go. As far as my stuff, Leanne and I, every Friday, we recap Housewives of New York, which is really fun. And just shouting everyone out. Danny was the only person I didn't know here. I love this group. I like the perspectives. Even I'm thinking about some of the things Drew said and how I react to Kenya. It just kind of got me thinking on stuff. So I really like this panel. You guys are fair. You guys are honest. You're on the neck. You're in that ass. Like, you guys do it all. And it's really, really fun. And when I'm not on the panel, I'm in the comments showing love. So it's really cool. If you want to follow my stuff, it's randomlyronniejr.com. We got some really great interviews. One of the Drag Race girls from VH1. And we also talked to Headcrack, who's on Dish Nation, who told me some really great things about Portia. Portia's not my favorite, never has been, but it was really cool for him to talk authentically about how good she is on that job, how she comes in early, stays late, is thoughtful, and how when he watches her on the show, it's like a whole different gal. So that actually was really, really refreshing. And if you want to find all that content, it's going to be at randomlyronniejr.com. So yeah.
Yeah, there we go, After Buzzers. I'm Buzz, so go on to my YouTube channel. Hollywood Lean, type it in, baby. I love you guys. We're not going to be back next Sunday because it's over. It is over, and it's been a fabulous season. Once again, we want to thank you for supporting us. Just click that subscribe channel. You come here every Sunday. Click on the other channels as well. Stay up to date. Hit the bell notification. Leave a comment. Hit the thumbs up. And follow us. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Wash your hands. Wash your booty hole. We'll see you next time.
Can I say it? Kenya, more hair care. Kenya, more hair care. Kenya, more hair care.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.